Something I've often thought about is like, do I try to rationalize and justify in my mind related to acceptable abuse from myself being a child? Because I do remember being spanked a lot with a wooden ruler when I was a kid for things I don't even remember what I was being punished for. Now, one of the biggest ones that I do remember is not acting ladylike or lipping off to my parents and saying something they didn't like. A lot of times it was surrounding religion. I would get my mouth washed out with soap, but there was other things I was doing, and I have no idea. And then that would entail my dad lecturing me in my room for anywhere from 20 minutes to maybe 45 minutes, telling me that I know better about something that I'm doing. And so, and then my dad would be saying, I'm only doing this because I love you. And then he'd spank me. And my mom would spank me too with a wooden ruler. I mean, that's what they always used. And so we'd be sent to our room for something. I'd go crawl in bed, and then, so mom would send me to my room. I'd go jump in my bed and pull the sheets over my whole body. Sometimes I'd cover my whole head up, and mom would come in and ask me what I'm doing. And I'd say, well, you told me to go to my bedroom. And so I got in bed, and then mom would come in with the ruler, and I said, what are you doing with the ruler? And she's like, well, your punishment isn't over. So she'd send me to my room. She'd punish me twice, actually. She'd put me in my room and then spank me with the wooden ruler. So, and then I think both parents at one point, they had the cheap wooden rulers, and then sometimes they would break. And, but it didn't feel good. It was like, then I'd have a red mark on my leg. And so, I mean, that was always happening all the time. That's what I asked myself, am I justifying because I was supposed to love my parents, and that's what I felt like it was supposed to be a safe place. But, I most of the time I just remember getting spanked with the wooden ruler. And it wasn't for something, it wasn't like I was outside trying to run in front of a car or anything. It was just basically for something that I said, or that they just didn't like that I said or did. I was a kid, and a lot of times I was told, you need to act ladylike, stop doing that, you know better, you're old enough to know better. And I was getting spanked with a ruler when I was 3 years old. I vividly remember that. So I don't know, what is abuse for a kid, and am I trying to justify abuse as my parent because I love my parents, but I have a cognitive dissonance in my brain right now related to